Hey guys, John Sewell, SIP Southeast Texas Bass Fishing. This is a cranking video from March 17th. Before we get going, I got 4 tips to help you catch more fish cranking. First tip is what kind of bait you use. I prefer to use a rattle trap in the spring when I'm cranking, and I'll start out with a 2-tap, tungsten 2-tap. Gives you a little bit different sound than maybe what the fish are used to. You can see the difference between the knocker or the tap and the rattle trap. Tip number 2 is what kind of retrieve you're using. I like to crank the reel handle 3 or 4 times and let it pause. 9 times out of 10, those fish are going to hit on the pause. I got those 2 tips from Rick Denton. He's a really good guide out on Lake Fayette, and you can learn a lot just by watching some of these guys fish. They post a lot on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook Live. Tip number 3 is the type of rod that you're using. I like to use something that's got a little bit more fast action to it. What happens is you want to keep that rod loaded. You'll lose a lot of fish on these treble hook baits. So you want to make sure that that rod stays loaded the whole time that you're fighting the fish. You got a much better chance of landing them if you've got a rod that's got a little bit of bend to it. Tip number 4 is keep moving. This video picks up, this is my 3rd spot of the day. The first 2, I didn't catch anything. Just keep moving around until you find where some fish are actively feeding. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Found him. He's peeing all over my boat. Little chunk. Hopefully with this overcast sky they sit up here and feed on the shad a little bit longer than they usually do. Usually as soon as that sun gets up over these trees, they're done. Usually when they're in here real good, you'll see them feeding, knocking shad out of the water and stuff like that. I'm not really seeing what I want to see, but I must have landed right on that first one when I pulled up. It's a 2-tap. Sometimes they want the 2-tap, sometimes they want the regular one. There's another one. Oh, that's the ground. Dang it.
There's one. On the paws. There's one. Really let that one sink to the bottom that time. There's another one. This lure is $8.50, so I'm gonna retie after a few fish. They're not big, but this tungsten 2-tap ain't cheap. They're all about the same size, about 1.5 pounds, but a lot of fun. Probably the biggest one of the bunch so far, and he ain't that big. gar pole down. Really got that one. Face full of the old rattle trap. These little schools of bait, they move up and down this flat right here. There's a creek channel behind us. They just come in for a little bit in the morning. They're usually gone by now, but we got a little bit of cloud cover today, which is keeping the shad and the bait up here, I think, longer than it usually is. Guys behind us got one. Bit my tooth. Shit. I hate the gar. There goes a bitty.